Another individual who has been so supportive, I can't even begin to list the times that he's been supportive of this organization, and I've brought him in again to speak to you because we always want to hear what he has to say. So please welcome our state CIO, Mr. Bill Kehoe. I'll let you go from here.
Okay. Good morning, everybody. We got some seats up front there, Jack, so don't be afraid. All right. You want to yell security now or later? Yeah, that's right. All right. Well, it's great to see you all. I just got back from with some others from NASCIO, the National Association of Way Too Many Vendors. And I have some great stories, but I don't want to cut into my time. But I will say how much I appreciate our local industry partners. Give yourselves a hand because we go to NASCIO and we don't see you necessarily, but you should work on that. And but we see a lot of folks that come up to me and others and say things like, what's your biggest pain point? And here's my company, and I think I can help you. And it's like, who are you? Do you do any business on the West Coast? No, but we want to. So, yeah, I really appreciate our local reps after experiencing NASCIO. But I just sent them all to Mark Quimby and Katie Ruckel. So this is an important day. I don't want to embellish it too much, and I promise not to give you the just the high-level management stuff today. I want to do some straight talk again, like I did at the vendor forum, because that's what you deserve, and that's what we need. We're in a really important time in our state government, and we all need to understand what it's going to take to move forward. So that's what I'll be talking to you today. And we have an amazing lineup of breakout sessions, and we're actually going to do some work today. So get into those sessions where we have use cases. We're going to bring people together. We're going to practice what we preach about working together and solving problems. So that's going to be exciting to do today. So this isn't your regular day where you come and sit and listen to people like me talk at you all the time. We're actually going to do some work today. So get excited about that. Come on, get excited about that. Jeez. So one of the things I said at the vendor forum in March is, we got this, right? So I want you all, I hate it when speakers do this, but I'm going to have you do it. I want you to say really loud, we got this. We got this. All right, good job. And why do we have it? Because of all of you and all of our industry partners. That's why I'm so confident that despite our challenges that we have in the state, and they're significant, I'm not going to downplay that. If we work together, like we're going to do today, and if we come together around solving problems, we can do anything. We really can. But I do want to start by thanking the IPMA. It is an incredible organization and has been for many, many years. And they just do a tremendous job. And they were innovative and collaborative in how they put this on today. So can we thank our IPMA board members? And I also want to thank our industry sponsors. As I've said many times, we cannot do this without you. We need you to be successful. And we know that it's going to be hard on you with this budget crisis and everything else, and you're going to have to find new ways of doing work. But you can do it. You got it too, right? You got it. We got it. So we can do this. And I know many of you traveled today to be here. I know, Charles, you came from the East Coast somewhere, right? Pennsylvania. Yeah, it's great. We're just in Philadelphia. It's a wonderful place. Yeah. You weren't one of the industry folks I was talking about, by the way, so you're good. But I think this promises to be well worth your efforts, no matter if you are local or you came from any place in Washington or outside Washington. This is going to be a great day. So stay energized, be open to new ways of thinking and doing things. Get uncomfortable. I always say that, get uncomfortable. That's where we grow. That's where we have the opportunity to learn, is when we're uncomfortable. And we got to get uncomfortable if we're going to make progress in this state. So after the vendor forum, I said, hey, let's all think about new ways to work. And I talked about an innovation day. And here we are. This is it. And like any good CIO, I went to my CTO, Nick Stowe, and said, make it happen. Yeah, and he knows better now. He just says, all right, yeah, I got it, yeah. And I said, we got to do some work. We got to take on problems. We got to bring people together around problems, and practice that muscle of how we're going to do this, because that's how we're going to be successful. And he's put him and his staff, our architecture and innovation division in WaTech, yeah, and many others put on this. It takes a lot of work to put these things on, and they put an outstanding and we want an outstanding agenda together, and thank you for that. All right, so let's get started here. Let's see if I have this. I got this new. I don't use PowerPoint anymore. It's kind of cool. I'm trying to change my ways here. So Governor Ferguson, what did you think about that message? Right? What's that? Oh man, he's not tired. He shows up at cabinet meetings all the time. He's ready to go. Yeah, he's got this. He's got this. I don't think he gets as much sleep though. That's probably but who does? So I will say again. I know Governor Ferguson is my boss, my new boss. But I will say that there are several things that you can take away from his message that I think we need to focus on today. So he is very focused on the enterprise. All right, not the Starship Enterprise, statewide. And when he speaks about the enterprise, it's for a very specific reason, which is, and he said this at cabinet, he expects agencies to work together and not in silos. All right, that's not me talking. It's not WaTech talking, that's our governor talking. He expects us to work across agencies to be more efficient as a government in how we come together and solve problems. Because he knows, as you all know, as I know, that's how we're going to serve our residents in a better way, is when we work together, right? And so I want to challenge all of us today. What does that mean to you? As you go through this day and you go through these workshops and you go through these use cases, and we're coming together to solve problems, and we're getting uncomfortable, and we're doing things, how can we change so that we embrace this view of multi-agency enterprise approach to solving problems? We have to do that, right? And we have a culture in the state, as many governments do, where it's been agency-centric. And that's not a bad thing, but when it's time to change, it's time to change, and we got to change. right? And I'm telling you, we're turning every rock over at WaTech, every rock. And we have got to do things better, and we're all in on that. How can we serve our customers better? How can we serve our residents better? How can we work with you better to solve problems, right? And I would ask you to do the same thing. The one thing I will say about a billion, not million, I wish it was a million, shortfall is that you can't just wait it out. You can't wait it out. We got to just take it on, head on, and move forward aggressively and find new ways to do things, but we got to keep moving forward. We can't stop. The people that we serve depend on us to do that. So he's all about enterprise. He's all about collaboration. He wants us to innovate and solve problems. He was just out at the Kehoe rainforest this weekend. Does anybody know why? Yeah, right. So he's an avid reader, by the way. And don't play chess with him because you'll lose. But there was a road that washed out. And he read about that. And he came back to cabinet and said, I want to do something about that. What can we do? Because that road is used by tourists in the summer, and it's an important thing for the state of Washington. And so he found a way to get it done and found the funds and worked with the local governments there and got it done. And that's what he expects of us, right? Don't say, well, we don't have any money, so I guess we'll have to wait that one out. Let's just keep the road washed out. We'll translate that to anything we're working on today. Let's not let whatever that is wash out. Let's band together and work together and make it happen, and let's get after it. So that's really important. Okay, so I've talked about resilience a lot lately, and it's important. But what I want to do is just have a few, those of you that came to the vendor forum, and there's another one in September, by the way, a couple things that I want to remind you of from that, from my keynote there, which was also around resilience. And I said this before, there's two ways to approach a $16 billion shortfall and all the other constraints, federal government, et cetera. One is to wait it out and hope it gets better. And then the other is to make the necessary shifts and find new ways of working. And that's what I am going to do. Are you going to join me in that? Okay, now one more time. We got this. Yes. All right. So, new mindset. Think about that. Why do we need a new mindset in the state of Washington? Why can't we just keep doing what we're doing? I see how hard you all work every day. Believe me, you're working hard, and it's valued and appreciated. And I see the industry folks on how hard you're working to try to find a path forward, and that's appreciated. But we need a new mindset in the state of Washington in how we're going to work, and we can't work the same way. We've got to come together and work in different ways, and that's industry and the state. So what does that mean to you? And I think it's a culture question too. Every organization and every government has a culture. What's our culture in the state of Washington? What's our culture like, right? Is it based on history and how we've always done things? Is it based on working in silos? And do we need to break out of that and start trusting each other a little more, assume good intent, and start working together? And let the history, whatever that is, good or bad, put it behind us? Yes, I think we need to do that. That's culture, right? And culture will kill us if it's a culture we're not willing to change. So that's another thing I will ask you is, and we're doing this at WaTech. Anything I'm saying up here, we're doing it. We're examining our culture. What do we need to do different at WaTech as an agency? And what's our culture like? And what do we need to change? And let's not be afraid to do that. Doesn't mean anybody's done anything wrong, but there are times when you got to change your culture, right? So industry as well. What's your culture? How are you doing things? What's your model? And how do you need to make those shifts? So let's all examine our culture, be open to new ideas, believe in the people in our organization, and solve problems by bringing people together, right? And so that means industry is going to have to work with other industry partners to solve problems. You can't have it all on your own, right? It's not one industry partner anymore. It's bringing all kinds of expertise together, multidisciplinary way. And that goes for the state as well. So are you open to that from an industry perspective, right? Or is it the same old model where you want to sell everything and everyone should use your company? But you know what? If you change that mindset to, no, we can work with other vendors and we can help solve problems. That's what we need in the state of Washington. So please be open to that, because that's what we're looking for. So leadership. This is really important. You're all leaders here in your respective organizations, whether you know it or not. It's not about how many people you manage, but you're leaders. And what kind of leadership do we need in the state right now? And I'm talking to industry and also our state employees, right? We need leaders that are willing to step up. Step up. Don't step back. Right, this is the straight talk piece here. We got to step up right now. All of us, right? I'm looking to do that. Where can I do that better? Please look at your own leadership. Don't be afraid to step up in new ways, finding problems, helping to solve problems, bringing people together, even if it's not your job. That's the kind of leader we need. Step up. We need leaders that are willing to step up and raise a concern. And you can't say, well, I'm at this level of the organization. That's not really my place. Forget about that. We want to hear from you. Step up. Let's solve problems. We need leaders that can stand strong right now. Really, stand strong. Be resilient, be persistent, get things done, and do the right thing and fight for the right thing. That's really important right now. We need to believe in each other. Promote a belief that your agency and the people in your agency and our industry partners can help us get the job done, right? And yes, there's accountability that we need, yes. But if we don't believe in each other and trust that we can get things done, it's not going to happen. So we need to do that. And we also need strategic leaders. So rise out of the operations and the tactical. We need to be more strategic, and we have to get there. And this is one of the forums where we can all learn how to do that, right? I call it get on the balcony. Get out of the minutia of the day-to-day. Get on the balcony and look to see how things are working, where you need to make adjustments, and then plan that future that we need. So that's really important as a leader. And you know, if you're on a project or on an initiative, and you know you've had your ups and downs, and you're kind of going, I'm a little weary of this, and maybe you didn't get all the funding you needed. Don't abandon the project and go back to whatever, right? Stick with it. We have really important projects right now. Enterprise projects and agencies, some of which may or may not have been funded. Find a way to move forward. Find a way to move forward. Don't abandon efforts that you've been working on for 2 or 3 or 4 years and say, well, we didn't get funded, so I guess we can't do this anymore. Fold the tent and put it away. Absolutely don't do that, right? Work with me, work with our team, work with whoever, interagencies, and let's find a way to move these things forward, right? Don't let budget be a reason why we're not moving forward. All right, so leadership's important, and partners and collaboration, that's what we're going to be doing today. But here's the thing we have to be careful of, right? How many of you have heard these things about why we can't do something? Don't let this stand in your way. This is a challenge for all of us, right? We're never going to have enough money. We're never going to have enough resources, but we got to find a way. And there are ways to overcome these challenges. And one of them is working together across agencies, asking for help, working with industry. Don't be afraid to change. It's not a bad thing, and we're going to have to do a lot of changing. Our mindset, our culture, and the way we work. So don't be afraid to change. And don't let fear stop you. No, and all of these are legitimate things, right? I'm not trying to say they don't exist, but they can be blockers, and they can force us to abandon things that are really important and then really stand back instead of standing up. Fear is one of those things. There's a lot to be fearful of. But if we're working together, we can overcome that, right? And if we're supporting one another, we can overcome that. But fear is something we can't let stop us, because it will get us all the time, right? We can't let fear stop us, especially if you're a leader. Overcome it, acknowledge it, and let's go forward. I hear a lot of things like, whoa, well, the federal government's doing this, and we're got a $16 million budget shortfall, and maybe we should just not do that. Let's just, stand pat. And it's like, no, do the opposite of that. Find a way to move forward. Don't let fear or these constraints stop you. And then here's one that we got to be careful of, right? We all know we have a lot of complexity in what we're doing. A lot of complexity. And that not one person knows it all. I'll be the first one to raise my hand on that one. And sometimes you can get in situations where it's like, I don't really feel competent to be on that, on that committee or on that thing. Do not do that. Get in there, learn, train, learn from others. And it's okay to say, I'm not really a specialist here, but I want to help. And that's what we need. Don't fear being the most competent person in the room. None of us are. It's okay to ask for help, by the way. So that's good. Do that. And then, on the industry side, we need to find a way to get you in the room where you're not trying to sell us something, right? Or people don't think you're trying to sell us something, but you're trying to help us solve problems. And that's really important for you to understand, is we can bring you to the table a lot more if you're willing to sit with us and help us solve problems and you're not trying to sell us anything. And I say that with a lot of respect, because I respect all of our industry partners in this room, but we all have to change, and that's a change you have to make. And that's really important. Otherwise, we can't bring you to the table like we're doing today. All right. Well, I have probably exhausted my time. But I want to just leave you with this. We got this. I have a lot of faith in the people in this room, both on the industry and on the state side. I believe that we can be a model for the rest of the country, and we are in many ways, in how we are addressing all the constraints that are in front of us. Stay positive, believe in each other, and let's go solve problems. Thank you.